Here's the last 12 hours of world news in 3 minutes and 25 headlines. Internet users are rapidly downloading the Chinese e-commerce app DHgate after viral TikTok videos showcased inexpensive Chinese-made designer goods. Global wine sales in 2024 fell to their lowest levels since 1961. India and the United States finalized the terms of reference for the first phase of a bilateral trade agreement, aiming to boost trade to $500 billion by 2030. U.S. President Donald Trump considered modifying auto tariffs imposed on Mexico, Canada, and other countries, leading to some trade policy relief. Donald Trump's trade policies and political actions in the U.S. are causing a decline in international tourism to the U.S., impacting the $2.36 trillion tourism industry. Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Malaysia and Vietnam amid an escalating trade war between China and the United States, strengthening bilateral ties and promoting alternative economic partnerships. Donald Trump instructed the Health Department to collaborate with Congress to revise the law enabling Medicare to negotiate drug prices. The European Commission approved the antibody lecanemab for early-stage Alzheimer's treatment in the European Union. The U.S. government implemented stricter immigration policies impacting Indian students and professionals in the United States, resulting in increased visa rejection rates and scrutiny of online activities. UK Trade Secretary Jonathan Reynolds will visit China to restart the UK-China Joint Economic and Trade Commission. NATO Secretary-General visited Odessa, Ukraine, reaffirming support for Ukraine amidst stalled peace negotiations involving the US and Russia. A hacker breached the 4chan Internet Forum, reportedly gaining access to internal data including user information and moderator details. A Peruvian court sentenced former President Ollanta Humala and his wife, Nadine Heredia, to 15 years in prison for money laundering in Peru. Russian court sentenced 4 journalists to 5.5 years in prison. OpenAI is developing a social media network in the United States, potentially integrating it with ChatGPT. NVIDIA announced a $5.5 billion charge related to H20 product inventory and commitments in the first quarter. Universal opened Epic Universe, a new theme park in Orlando, Florida, at a cost of $7 billion. India's retail inflation decreased to 3.34% in March 2025, its lowest in nearly 6 years, due to falling vegetable and protein prices. Sweden's SVT broadcaster live-streamed the annual moose migration across the Angerman River, attracting millions of viewers worldwide. U.S. Homeland Security mistakenly emailed U.S.-born immigration lawyer Nicole Micciarone in Massachusetts, ordering her to leave the country. A U.S. federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's attempt to end a program granting legal status to over 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Iran and the U.S. held a first round of nuclear talks in Oman, with subsequent talks planned, following Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's cautiously optimistic assessment and President Trump's expressed frustration over slow progress. The Philippines and the United States are conducting large-scale Balikatan military drills, involving the deployment of U.S. missile systems like the Typhoon and NMESIS. India plans to launch a Mars landing mission, using the LVM-3 rocket and a lander with a mini-helicopter for surface exploration. Google is investing 10 megawatts of geothermal power in Taiwan, its first such Asian investment. That's it for now. Check back in 12 hours for the next update, or check out the channel for yesterday's news.